Hello, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. Today we talk about Kung Fu Panda 2. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host, John. And yeah, we already hinted that we like this sequel a bit more than the first one, and this does ramp up the stakes, especially with the villain and stuff.
Our hero now is a little bit more prepared and equipped with a set of skills. So it's not like an underdog story. He is capable,
Yeah,
like as of this point. Yeah.
yeah. And the only downside for Master Shifu takes a back seat in this time.
Yeah. I mean, the guy got his ass kicked in the last movie. Of course, he's gonna take a back seat on this one.
Yeah, and who do you bring in to ramp up or get a better villain? You bring in Gary Oldman as Shin.
Yes. Especially with a little bit of a darker like backstory. Usually, when you see like Disney stuff, it's not that dark. Can you name me one Disney like Pixar movie that had a little bit of a dark backstory here?
No, I can't. Nothing really comes to mind.
Because with right, like with Kung Fu Panda, Poe's backstory is mass genocide. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
that's how our hero, like our optimistic like hero
got his
protagonist,
start.
fucking starts his like his story.
Yeah, I do like the theme of, it's the beginning is not the best, but it's the rest of life that defines you. It's a heavy theme for a kids movie.
Yeah, it is, and it is a little bit jarring to see his backstory compared to who he is as a character now.
Yeah,
Again, very silly type, very optimistic, and like all happy and shit. But when you look back, like, that's some Batman backstory right there.
right. I do like how the story starts with like this interesting other animation style. Like in the first movie, you're like, I thought it was 3D and it's 2D, and this one is a bit more, I would say.
Oh no, it wasn't like the puppet styled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
I remember
ancient
that.
China. Yeah.
But yeah, like of ancient China kind of like style of storytelling for shit. I mean, can you say that he's a deep villain?
Definitely.
Like his motivations, is it like I don't know, because all I saw was like, but he was like, I could use it as for war and shit.
Actually, Lord Chen is a complicated character since he's trying to fill in the void that his parents left a gaping hole in his heart when they shunned him away, and it's like, how dare you take my happiness from me? It is my right, so I will take it back.
Well, I mean, if you, I think the parents were kind of like, you know what? When your son starts like a whole genocide, like hunting down fucking pandas and pretty much wiping them out because a fucking fortune teller said so, I think you are valid to be like, hey,
Please don't be
this
part of this
old-
kingdom, right?
like we can't have you as king anymore because it's kind of problematic.
Though when the soothsayer, who's played by Michelle Yeoh, like, you have no idea how much it hurt them to show you, shoo you away from the kingdom, to throw you out, Lord Shen. Even though you are a genocidal maniac, it still hurt them.
Yeah, of course.
I like when Poe is going off to the mission, he goes to his dad. He's like, "Dad, I don't think you're my dad." He's like, "Oh, I knew this day would come."
I was like, how did you find that out? Glad that they're like self-aware enough to be like, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Also like how love how his dad is marketing off like, "Hey, the Dragon Warrior used to work here," so you get product placements everywhere. Poe, you're like, you know what? You earned this. You raised the giant panda by yourself. So sure.
That's very true. It's very true. Like, you wouldn't expect a fucking duck to take care of a gigantic panda. But yeah. But they do go on a mission because Shen earlier on, Lord Shen, fucking capped one of the legendary like kung fu masters.
Yeah, he discovers gunpowder and like his parents use it for like fireworks, and he's like, you know what? I think this is for other means, like war, and he destroys the rhino, or like, oh, poor guy. And you're hoping. Did you notice the Croc is voiced by JCVD?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah, the splits. Yeah.
That's actually kind of cool. Wait, who voiced the Ox?
Alex, I'm not too familiar on. Rhino, he's Victor Garber. He's in Sicario. He's in a lot of shit. He's in Titanic. He's in Arrow. If you've seen any of the CW stuff, he's like the other half of Firestorm.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And of course, the Soothsayer is played by Michelle Yeoh, who is now Academy Award winner. Michelle Yeoh, like, fucking hey.
Asian represent.
And you're like, again with the voice cast, you're like, DreamWorks gets away with like, you see the difference between DreamWorks and Disney, where it's like say for like Lion King or Aladdin, it's like one or two like celebrities were like, oh shit, it's Robin Williams. Oh shit, it's James Earl Jones. Here, like, that's Angelina Jolie. That's Lucy Liu. That's Seth Rogen. That's Jack Black.
Seth Rogen. Fuck. His name escapes me.
Gary Oldman.
No.
The Wolf.
The guy who played that.
The Wolf.
Crane.
Crane. Fuck, I keep getting his name. He's in the Alvin and Chipmunk movies.
He was also in Men in Black, and I'm like, shit. I feel bad because we're naming all of these actors except for him.
I think his name is David Crane. Like, legit.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Of course, there's Jack Black, and then you elevated with Gary Oldman. You're like, Jesus Christ. Even though Oldman doesn't sound like Gary Oldman, which is the point. We're not supposed to be like, oh, he sounds familiar. He's definitely this guy. Where, like, it took me years to be like...
Of course, we're not gonna... We're not trying to, like, see him as Commissioner Gordon here. We're trying to see him as an evil peacock.
But, like, with all, like, the heavy stuff, there's still, like, moments of, like, absolute funny bits. Like, in your words, funny ha's. When they're, like, trying to sneak into prison as the dragon and they eat some of the people and the one rabbit's like, what the fuck is happening? Why is that match of eating people?
When they're in, like, the Chinese dragon thing, and then they start beating him up, and it's... Yeah, that's just, like... And by the way, the Kung Fu in this one, I would say, is better than the first one. Choreography is fucking great. I don't know how they did the animation for it, but it did feel and look like how modern Kung Fu movies are made today.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, very impressed with that. The choreography is great. The flow... That is the most important part about Kung Fu movies. Is like, yes, they're trying. It's not a realistic representation of real fighting, but it's just the art of like giving you a pretty action scene.
Yeah,
which they do very well.
Yeah, especially with the snake bit with the dragon. You're like, this is pretty good stuff, to be honest. Like you know you can't pull that in an action movie, live action movie today, because you'd be like, that's kind of ridiculous. But like with an animation movie with a panda for a lead, you're like, you know what, it gets away with it.
Yeah, you got a lot of leeway when the plot and the entire story is a little outrageous.
Yeah. The other theme for Poe is confronting your past, where it's like the past. It's kind of like a deeper Lion King thing of like the past does hurt, where you either learn from it or run from it. And this time it's like, no, the past, again, a theme that you and I are familiar with because of our past schools. Like, you know, your past doesn't define you. It's who you are now. And you're like, it took me a while as a kid and growing up to be like, oh, right.
Yeah. So, like, whatever happened to me back then isn't me now.
Yeah.
It is a really good, like, message to tell the kids. So I really like this movie.
Yeah.
Also, I have a question. What's all of the hype with Zootopia?
To be fair,
I know
Zootopia
it's very
is a
like
good movie.
It's a very good movie, but it's just like DreamWorks did it first.
With Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
That is true, but
You
again,
ever thought of that? People are like, oh shit, they're making a furry movie with like animals doing stuff that we do. I was like, wasn't Kung Fu Panda just the same thing, just in China?
yeah. I guess because Zootopia kind of tackles other heavy topics of like racism, where Kung Fu Panda is like talking about like, you know, how to deal with life, where both are valid, but like I guess people, well, it was 2016 and 2016 was the time of the U.S. elections, so, you know, talk about racism aside. Yeah.
Prevalent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess DreamWorks just has horrible timing.
I guess, but like they're like, you know what? We need to plant seeds into kids' minds of like these are life lessons they should carry with them. Um, I do like when Poe screws up at first, and then Tiger's like, "Tell me what's happening with you, because you're not going on this mission, because you're gonna kill us all. You're gonna get yourself killed. You're gonna get all of us killed. So tell me, or else you're not leaving." Poe's like, what problem? There is no problem.
Yeah, and pretty much he spills the like, oh, my parents were actually murdered by said group that wears that symbol that was on the wolf.
Yeah.
Voiced by fuck.
Danny McBride? Is that Danny
Danny
McBride?
McBride, yeah. Guy
Okay.
from Tropic Thunder.
Alright. Ah, man.
I guess it is.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like when he does confess. Tigress, you think she's about to beat the shit out of him. You're like, that's kind of harsh for telling the truth. But no, she hugs him. You're like, oh, damn, that's a bit more heavier. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Crazy
DreamWorks.
Crane's like reaction.
Is it?
The fuck? You
Yeah.
do that?
And then he does go ahead without him anyway while he's doing his own mission. The rest are like, take back your gunpowder. Actually, we're taking it back because Poe's in danger. And he gets blasted to high heaven. You're like, oh shit, the DreamWorks just killed off its main character. Fuck.
No, but I mean, I get it though. It's not a route that I would have preferred. Like, I would have expected like Poe to be a bit more angry.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you think? Like, oh, my whole fucking race or species got wiped out because of one fortune teller and one genocidal maniac. Wouldn't he be like more vengeful and like angry? But no, of course they had to keep it lighthearted for the kids. I get it. Still a good of a movie, so fine.
Yeah.
But I expected him to be a bit more driven with what he's trying to do.
Yeah. That flashback, though, kind of lived with me for a while. Of him, them running away from Shen and the other wolves, and his mom hiding him and signaling them like, "No, take me instead, kill me." And like, it doesn't really dawn on you until you're like, "Oh, she sacrificed herself." Fuck.
Yeah. Knowing the fact that in the third movie, or like in the end credits of this movie, you get to see, oh, his dad's still around. Where's the mom?
Right? And you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. It's kind of like with DreamWorks with Shrek, where you find out what happened to Mama Bear. Man, I think DreamWorks just likes killing mom bears.
I guess so. I do like how you see where Shazam stole its moment, where Poe is talking to Shen like, "Shen, I have come to stop you," and Shen's like, "What? You what?"
Yeah. Shazam did rip that off from Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what gave it away that the crocodile is voiced by JCVD was the amount of splits. I'm like, I don't know why, but I feel like
I had the feeling like, who is he voiced by? I was like, Donnie Yen? I was like, no. I was trying to think Asian Kung Fu movie stars. I wasn't thinking of John Claude Van Damme. What's his nationality again?
French.
Like, he's French.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Jean Claude. Yeah, right.
But yeah, and Poe does do what we all secretly hope Luke Skywalker did do in The Last Jedi, which is destroy an entire fleet with inner peace.
Inner peace. Just imagine though, Luke Skywalker deflecting an ATT like blast. Yeah, or sorry, the gorilla walker things, like force pushing it back to it. I'm like, ooh, so much missed opportunities. Force Awakens / sorry,
Last Jedi
sequel trilogy or some shit like that.
Anyway, going on to a better movie. Like, I like how Poe's like, bro, let go of the past. It's not that none of that shit matters anymore. Scars heal, and Shen's like, scars don't heal.
Scars don't heal. Wounds heal. Wait, I don't know what they fade.
And it's a pretty sick last battle, and you're like, again, for an animated movie, you're like, choreography. It's pretty sick. It's pretty good. And then when the thing falls, Shen's like, fuck it. Just accepts its fate. You're like, damn, that's a heavy thing to do. Be like, you know what,
Yeah.
I deserve this.
No, it's I do like that. Like, there's no resolve here. There's no coming back. Usually, animes are like, uh, animated movies for kids. They have the bad guy kind of like do a whole 180 and be like, "I did wrong. I'm sorry, but I will face like the consequences."
Yeah,
But like here, they're like, "Nah. He's bitter to the end, and he
yeah.
deserves this."
Lord
Like,
Shen dies the
nice.
villain, and you're like, you know what, for this character, a genocidal maniac, fitting. I do like the last moment for Yosu's dad, and that's just happy that he's back, and he accepts the fact that, like, you know what, you are my dad, this is my family, and nothing else will change that. So, we're good forever and ever. And then the end credits happen, and you're like, ah, I wonder how that dynamic's gonna go down.
By the way, the end credits does not look like the third movie at all.
Right?
like you see like them in a paddy field and they're like working, and it's like a peaceful kind of village.
Yeah.
And then once you get to it, like they're all like dunce. They're all kind of stupid. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that's why I think the next movie is kind of it's fine for what it is. It's got Bryan Cranston and J.K. Simmons.
Sure. Wait, who did J.K. Simmons? Did he voice the bad guy?
Yeah, he's the Buffalo bad guy.
I
know there's a fourth one coming out next year, and like the villain's called the Chameleon. He can transform into villains of the past, so there's a possibility that Gary Oldman and Ian McShane come back.
come back.
Yeah. So that's exciting. And I can't wait for Kung Fu Panda 4. I'm also excited with the prospects of having a Shrek 5. It's 5, right?
Yeah, just done by that studio that did the Puss in Boots, like the recent Puss in Boots movie.
Yeah. But yeah. There's nothing much else to be said other than that this is a really good animated movie. It's one of the best animated movies of all time. And I'm sure it will stand the test of time. There's not much else to say about it.
I do enjoy it. I did enjoy it when I watched it in theaters. And I still enjoy it now. Like, watching it as an adult, I am 24, so I'm like, oh, kids' movies, But then it's DreamWorks. It's like, they always love to sprinkle a little bit of adultness into their stuff.
Yeah.
Which makes it for everybody. Which I really love. Like, with Shrek with Shrek 1, it was pretty much a movie about racism.
Yeah.
And now with this one, they're fighting a guy who just committed mass genocide and is killing all the Kung Fu people. I'm like, all right, yeah, I enjoy that.
Oh man. But yeah. What would you rate this?
This is my favorite Kung Fu Panda. Like, this is the Spider-Man 2 of DreamWorks. So this one's pretty goated. I'll give this one a solid 9 out of 10. I recommend everyone to watch Kung Fu Panda. Like, the whole trilogy is really great. Third one's okay.
Yeah.
It's an okay movie. Should I say skip it? No, it's still a good time, but if it's connected in any way to the next one, which is the fourth, installment, I guess watch it. But other than that, there's a good time. You should be drunk and watch Kung Fu Panda and have a great time as well. So, yeah, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll also give this an 9 out of 10. It's a pretty solid movie. It's a very under the surface, pretty deep too when you really think about like, yeah, you know what? Your life now does define you. Your future self needs you more than your past self. So stop worrying about the past. Just live your life right now. And like about the next movie, would I say skip it? I mean, it's got Bryan Cranston, so if you are a fan of him, go ahead and watch that. But for this movie, it's a solid 9. And again, nothing much else to say because this is again one of the best animated movies of all time. So there's that. But yeah, that's been our video on Kung Fu Panda 2. I guess since you guys already figured out what our next video is about. But yeah, tell us your favorite DreamWorks animated movie, whether it be 2D or 3D. Would that be the first Shrek or Spirit? I think there's a Spirit too.
Ah,
Yeah,
there
I
it
saw
is.
it on HBO. I was like, that's interesting. I'll check it out someday. I'm not sure if Matt
Yeah.
Damon's back. But yeah. If you want to see more of us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok. TikTok to see our best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus995 on Twitter. How about you?
Oh, you can find me at John Ju. I'm just going on Instagram. Is my icon.
Alright. And until the next one, we'll see you on the next one. Kind of redundant, but anyway, bye everybody.